Hi, I'm Lena. Welcome or welcome back to my channel and welcome to my end of year TBR of 2025. You may or may not remember this video I made where I spontaneously made a priority TBR for this year. I show you my own TBR. So we'll just go over the shelves and I'll show you the book that I still want to read. I could make one of those TBRs right now. Right, so books I want to read very soon. I'm gonna toss on my sofa and then we have a little list at the end of this. Right. 1. I have read quite a bit of that priority TBR, very proud of myself, but there's still a few left, so those are going on a TBR. Then I have 3 non-fictions that I have paused for different reasons, but those need to get read as well this year. And then I have 2 seasonal reads that have November and December the title, so of course I had to save them. Let's start with the non-fiction that I still need to finish. The first book is Women Who Run With Wolves. I was enjoying this. It wasn't like a Paul's DNF kind of thing, but Victober started and I wanted to fully embrace Victober, so I am a little over halfway through of this one. Would very much like to finish it. Then a book that I have almost finished are Letters to Milena by Kafka. To be honest, I kind of lost interest in the second half just because it's so repetitive of Kafka sending letters to Milena not replying them. I mean, she did reply them, but they're not in this collection. I don't know if they were saved at all. On page 175. And this has, I think, a little over 230, so I could easily finish this. Will happen for sure. When did I start this? 2022? But that is Deep Brontes by Julia Barker. Did I think, oh, I will fit this into Victober? Which is so dumb because I made a big Victober TBR and no, I did not read any of this. I do have this wonderful Charles Dickens card in here. I'm on chapter 15, which is page 485, as you can see. This is the big chunk that I have read and I'm so excited to keep on reading this. So I'm just gonna put it on a TBR so that I can hold myself accountable in the next 2 months. This chunk, it's all notes. This chunk I still need to read. But there's always a reason to not read it because it takes so much time to read this. There's no audiobook. Like, of course there's no audiobook for such a big specific book. But I still really want to finish this because I love the Brontes. And the fact that there's information about the Brontes that I don't know that's in this book is bothering me a lot. And I also have 2 seasonal reads. So we have Moomin Valley in November. I read the one in midwinter and this is a gift that I got from Sarah for Christmas. So I will read this in November, of course. I really like Tove Jansson. It is a middle grade fantasy series, very just whimsical woodsy fantasy series with a few magical creatures who live in the Finnish or Swedish woods. I don't know what exactly she based it on, but it's very, very adorable. I have more Brontes. This is 15 Wild Decembers by Karen Powell. This is about, I think, Emily Bronte writing Wuthering Heights. It is fiction, but I'm assuming it's 15 years in Emily Bronte's life. Also a lot about Emily and how she wasn't able to function outside of their Yorkshire home, outside of the home with her family in the landscape she was used to, how that was really, it says, catastrophic for her. So I've been waiting to read this one, but I felt like you can only read this in December because December is in the title. So that's already quite a decent TBR. I do have a few new releases I'm also excited about. So in November we have the new Olivia Date that comes out, which I would like to read. That's actually the only new release I can think of right now. For the Paws and Pages book club we're going to read the new Edward Carey, which is, I think, a bit of a creepy historical fiction, hopefully, because I really love Little, which is a creepy historic fiction. I will probably get to that in December. This is the pile that I still have left for my priority TBR. First chunk is classics and the second one is historical fiction and literary fiction. I also put The Hunger Games on my priority TBR, but I'm not sure if I'm going to read that still this year because I want to save that for when I'm really in the mood for it, and I haven't really felt the mood for that so far, but I might. Like, I'm not gonna read the Hunger Games series because it's on my TBR. I really want to save it for when the mood strikes. Classics work better for me if I put it on the TBR. So the first one is All Passion Spent by Vita Saxville West. This is about a widow who doesn't behave the way people want her to behave. Sounds amazing. Then for the Buzzwordathon I'm using The Custom of the Country by Edith Wharton. It's been a while since I've read an Edith Wharton. This one I got also for Christmas from Mary. And the Buzzwordathon prompt is alliteration, which custom country, is that alliteration? I think so. Like, I do not know these things. This is kind of a country woman comes to town, to New York, and it's set in 1913, but I guess it makes sense for the title. So, bit of a classic plot for us now. I'm curious to see how Edith Wharton did it. And then another E.M. Forster, because I love E.M. Forster, and this is The Longest Journey. Although the description of this book doesn't really sound like me, it sounds a bit dark academia. It's the story of Ricky, a sensitive and intelligent young man with a certain amount of literary talent and a modest fortune, who sets out from Cambridge with the intent of writing. His stories are not successful, and in order to marry the beautiful but shallow Agnes, he agrees to abandon his writing and becomes a schoolmaster. I hope this is not going to become a man and a pity fest. Like, that's what I thought about Stoner by John Williams, and I love that book. Let's hope E.M. Forster does a great job with this theme as well. Next, Daphne du Maurier. Why have I been delaying this? Probably because Mary gave it a mediocre review, but then she's a tough reviewer. So this is The House on the Strand by Daphne du Maurier. This is about a man who goes to a home, and I think there's time travel involved. There's a lot of creepiness and gothic stuff involved. I'm very excited for this. The Scarlet Pimpernel by Baroness Orczy. This is about a man who helps the royalty escape in France during the French Revolution, which sounds very exciting. I just finished A Tale of Two Cities, so I'm in the mood for this. I've been putting this on many TBRs, never read it. My next, Virginia Woolf, Between the Eggs, which is about a woman doing a play. I think all the characters in this book are performing a play. I don't know much more about it. Also, I feel like plot never really matters that much for Virginia Woolf, so I'm just here to experience this. That's a lot for 2 months, isn't it? And I'm not done yet, because we have a short story collection called The Dreaming. This is about gay men in Trinidad mostly. Then I have Sous Française by Irene Nemirovsky, which is written in French. It's translated from the French. I think the author was from the Ukraine. This is mostly a story about Paris during the Second World War. The Language of Food by Annabelle Epps. I read the first chapter of this, didn't really get along with it, but I'm gonna try the audiobook. This is about a group of women who learn to cook together, and the women, I think, are all a different class. Interesting. I think this is Victorian setting. Chocolate by Joanne Harris, which is one of Mary's favorite books, which is why I bought it. Of course, I've seen the film, but I'm very curious about the book because Mary loved it so much as well. I think I'm also using this for the Buzzwordathon for the food prompts. Like, these are cocoa beans, but there are covers of this book that have more food than just the cocoa beans. And then my final book, which I'm going to use as an audiobook, this is Kaikeyi. It is a Indian myth retelling, which I am still kind of enjoying myth retellings, especially in audiobook format. And this is a chunker, so I got the audiobook on Libro FM. And then the final literary fiction is The Argonauts by Maggie Nelson. It's been on many TBRs. I love Bluets. This is a genre bending fiction / memoir, and I'm very excited for it, just haven't read it yet. So those are a lot of books for my end of year TBR. I think it's incredibly unrealistic, but I am not one for ignoring a TBR I once made, a priority TBR. Yes, there are books I am staring at right now that have been on a random TBR, but I always called them a pile of possibilities. So they were not actually priority TBRs. These books were all on a TBR, and I'm gonna do my very best, and we'll see how far I get. I am creating some plans for 2026. Very excited for that. So I want to make space, like mentally and both physically, for new books. If you've read any of these books, let me know if you like them. And I hopefully will see you in the next video.